You just made something up.
If I could turn, me as Auntie M.
Yeah.
If I could turn back time.
That you would have been so good. I bet third grade you would have bodied that.
The podcast. Do tell.
Let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into it.
Oh my God.
Sometimes
how are
we
you,
say
piece
that
of
in
salmon?
sync, and sometimes we don't knows. So Victor and I are both expressing what we've been insecure about today on camera. And I feel like I look like a piece of salmon. I feel like I look pretty pink.
And I look like I'm wearing a shirt that's made out of pieces of mud and leaves.
What?
Apparently,
It's blue.
Well, I had someone earlier today named Connor tell me that I should wear my best shirt for the next time that we record.
Connor is really awesome as a producer and as a person for keeping us in check, keeping us as our
He
best
gets
selves.
it. Here's the thing. He gets it.
Well, he gets it more than us.
I literally, we would be like,
We'd be dead.
we would both be dead.
We would not
I would be trying to
here.
record. I'd be trying to record with a toaster going, why isn't it working?
We would have Stuart, our it girl, our IT guy, so we call our IT guy our it girl. And I'll just say that every time I say it girl, I feel like I need to explain why we say that.
And that's okay. That can be part of it.
But Stuart is our it girl, and he's also my boyfriend. And so he kind of was our it girl because he had to be. And because he wanted to be, but also because he really saw the chaos happening. And so he would have been thrust into the world of chaos. Whenever we're having tech problems, he is shaking his head. He's like, I've never seen two people so aligned with their technological
our blind
illiteracy.
spots. Well, let's call it our blind spots because
that's way kinder.
We all have different levels of capability, but Connor is so like, he's so like up here and he
so
keeps
real.
us like, he's like, I want people to be able to hear you guys when you speak. And I'm sort of like, okay, that's really interesting. Let's like say more. Asking
us to, he's like, I want you to respect yourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
So yeah, this is Piece of Salmon and my name is, I forgot what my name is. New
You
haircut.
called yourself Nose. That's why I said nose earlier. Because you were worried about the shadow on your nose. So I called you Nose. And then I was worried that I just called you Nose. And then that was like really rude. But
Excuse
you called
me,
yourself
what did you just call me? You called me Nose?
I'm just being one of the guys. What's up, Nose?
So in our guy group, we don't really like make fun of people's like noses or like just like stuff they can't control.
No, sorry about that. I just kind of thought that everybody was calling you Nose. Or you said that about yourself, so that's why I was gonna do it. But
no one in the group calls me Nose, so
totally. Hey, I think my mom is at the hospital. I think I have to go.
Oh, is she as pink as a salmon too?
Shit. Somebody in middle school once said, "Just try using lotion."
It better have been your doctor.
No, it was this really mean girl. And I once, for this mean girl who said, hey, your skin looks dry, just try using lotion. By the way, I had been trying. It didn't work. And that same mean girl, I blocked a punch for her once.
Wait,
no
with your hand?
Joke.
Or your body?
There was a fight happening and I was waiting to get picked up from my dad and I kind of knew both parties and the girl that was about to get punched absolutely deserved it. No one had the balls to do it beside the other girl that was about to punch her, but I didn't want to see physical violence. So I'm like literally 11 or 12. I'm like, oh no, like that mean girl's about to get punched. Nobody deserves that. And I run in between. Why did I insert myself? I run in between and I go, stop. When a fist is in the air, a fist was in the air.
Oh my, she had it cocked.
The girl had the gun. Shit. The fist cocked. There were no guns back then. She had her fist up. I stopped
caught
it.
a bullet for your bully.
Well, now we know what kind of person I am, really. And so just to shoot my own horn, I did that. But then the next day, everyone would gather around to give hugs to each other at the beginning of the day in middle school. It was so gross. We'd walk up and you would go, hey, good morning. And you'd give every single person a hug. It was like this big, it was like noted who didn't give each other hugs. And by the way, like these were like, I'm not going to say I was popular, but this was the popular people dynamic. So I was kind of following suit.
It wasn't like mandated by the school. I just want to make that clear.
I think the school thought it was weird.
Okay, good.
I would.
Okay, speaking of schools thinking what kids do is weird, do you ever like feel visceral, like nerve damage type pain thinking about like the prom and like the teachers and chaperones like watching us do what we did?
What, like grinding?
Grinding.
I was literally like grinding.
At like 15.
Yeah. And then they have to go see us, try to learn
and
something.
They're like, by the way, this is geography. It's like, I just saw you doing the most disgusting display.
Because it's like funny. It's like funny to see your students be stupid and do weird, embarrassing things as these kids. But because, I'm a nanny and I'm seeing these toddlers do things that are stupid and funny, and I'm like laughing. But I imagine once you see them having sex on the dance floor, you're like, oh, that's actually not funny at all. And
they're having sex.
That this wasn't part of my day and my life. I would be really upset. Well, to round out my story, by the way, I did not get hugs the next day. I just want to give our students of the pod peace of mind, because I blocked the punch to the mean girl. Somebody told me, they go, by the way, we're all against you now. I'm like, oh.
It's rare that you get that confirmation.
Somebody told me. They went, she can. They went, we're all against you. I just remember that feeling.
That's what I would have said.
Get out of my way, nose. You're next. No.
Okay, breath. Breath, comma, bad. Is that your full name written out for a test?
My name is Breath. Bad breath. Okay, wait. I think it's time that we introduce the new term that we have both decided is a really awesome thing to say in our podcast.
Okay, ready? Should we both say it at the same time?
Okay, we're going to say that's.
Oh, actually, let's give an example. Okay, so let's say. Yeah. So today I went into Sweet Green and I wanted to get a salad, and whenever I went through the line and they sort of mixed it up for me, they said, we're actually running a promotion and this is free. And I would say, that's...
If I were to have my normal response in the boring world, I would say, that's fabulous. But since we're not in that world, we're on Do Tell, we say, that's Fabletics.
And we're hoping we can sort of horn in a brand deal with the company Fabletics, who's, of course, owned by Kate Hudson.
I was just thinking, what a fabulous name for a clothing company, especially one that's like athletic clothing.
Athleisure too, even.
Nobody's really tooting her horn that's a good name for a clothing brand. And I was on my way into an improv show last night. I was performing an improv show last night, and I literally was on my way in, and I go, I need to tell Victor right now, I think we should say Fabletics. I just think it's a smart thing to say. It could be really funny to say.
So, and if it resonates with you, and if and who knows how long we'll be using this, we could go weeks saying something's Fabletics.
This could be years.
Could be the last time.
This
you know what I mean?
Be absolutely
you
the last time
don't know until it's tried and true. But for me, it is, because I don't want to be like, oh my God, that's fab. And sometimes I say that's fab. Actually, I don't know.
If you're being kind of blah, blah, if you're kind of like having a boring day, maybe you're a little tired, that's fab.
Oh, that's fab. Someone tells me they're like,
I'm engaged.
Oh, that's fab.
That's fab. Nice. Anyways.
Oh my God, that's Glib.
It was, whoa, wait, what's that?
Wait, you don't know
Glib?
about the history of Glib? Maybe that's my thing.
What's Glib? What is
Okay,
it?
well, maybe, okay, so how about my thing is the history of Glib,
Okay.
which is just going to be a short story about sort of the history of Scientology, Tom Cruise, and his like interviews during the time when he was like dating Katie Holmes.
He was trying to say Glib.
He called Matt Lauer, aka guy that did
bad evil
that
guy
would click a button and his door would close.
Would lock.
By the way,
yeah.
But we don't talk enough about
Lauer,
that.
Well, oh my God. So he was like, Matt Lauer, this interview is so glib.
He goes,
and by that he meant we're both bad guys.
Okay, so this is the breakdown. So Tom Cruise was doing an interview for the movie War of the Worlds, which was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it was epic at the time.
It was like really cool. Or it was like
I remember those big
Fabletics.
guys in the sky that they had in there.
The way I would describe the movie War of the Worlds, it was like Fabletics. I hope we're not the only people that think that's funny, but anyway.
You have to look at Kate Hudson modeling her Fabletics line. You just gotta get into it.
Her modeling Fabletics, and then she gets zapped with the beam, and it's just the Fabletics that fall to the ground. That would be a good commercial.
You are a celebrity. Get in this mindset. You are a celebrity. It's time to make your insert makeup brand, insert perfume, insert Kate Hudson's athleisure clothing lined. Insert that. And they go, Kate, what are you going to call it? And she goes, Fabletics.
No. It's like this.
Okay.
She is in the office and there's a giant poster in front of her that says fabulous. And then there's
as there is in
then
offices.
there's just another word that's like, it's
like Ted Lasso, how he has believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I've actually never seen that show, but
That's okay.
can imagine.
I'll give you permission.
I can imagine
it's all
the word
right.
believe. But and then there's another sign that says like athletics, or maybe she's looking at a tennis shoe, and then they go, Kate, what is the name of the brand? And she goes, Fabletics. Fabletics.
It's like in a movie when they're like talking to some dorky girl and they're like, oh, what's your boyfriend's name? And she looks at like the table and she goes, ketchup.
Shoestring. Ketchup shoestring.
Ketchup shoestring.
Where does he go? Old Candle Elementary School.
Elementary school. Well, yeah, they are all in third grade.
Yeah, that's
when you're the meanest. Maybe actually, no, you're such a sweetie in third grade. Oh
that's
my
so
God.
true. You're 9. Like
I just ran into a guy from my third grade class, and it was awesome. It was awesome. We looked at each other and we were like, "Oh my God!"
So you both had like distinguishable like features where you were like, yeah, you're still the same 9-year-old.
He was at my show and he came because his friend knows someone that I was performing with, and it was really random. And he goes, I am not surprised to see you doing a show. You were so good in The Wizard of Oz in third grade.
Oh, who were you in The Wizard of Oz?
Okay. Have I told you this before?
I think you told me.
On the test record, on our famous failed test record.
Which we will be releasing behind a paywall for $4 million.
Basically, if you pay $4 million, you can listen to a record between Victor, our friend Hannah Mosier, and not me. My audio didn't pick up. And I literally stripped out of my clothes. I was overheating so badly because I was so stressed.
But they cast you as Cher?
No, okay. They cast me as I played the role of Auntie M in the third grade production of Wizard of Oz. And they knew my teacher was so awesome, Mrs. Batliner. She was so awesome because she had just the absolute flair for theatrics. She had a vision. I would describe her as the first one to start clapping and the last one to stop if we ever saw anything. And she was great. And she knew I was really upset about not getting Dorothy because, hello, guys, I was really freckly and I had brown hair. Like
You
I
are
thought,
Dorothy.
I thought I was Dorothy. I was already obsessed with the movie, and I didn't get it, and she knew I was really sad. So she said, "Hey, we know that you didn't get a song as Auntie M, but we're gonna change that. We're gonna give Auntie M a song." We're all going, great. This is awesome news. The song, okay, here we go. The song, I tried to say it, I couldn't even get it out. The song, If I Could Turn Back Time by Cher.
That's right. Okay, that's what they didn't cast you as Cher in The Wizard of Oz.
No, they should. They might as well have. It's how good of a job I did.
Well, damn.
Well, because in this world, in this version, our third grade production, Auntie M knew Dorothy was gone, and she was going, where did she go? If only I could turn back time. If I could find a way, I'd take back the words that hurt you and you'd stay.
But
those are the lyrics.
In the movie, too, Auntie M knows that she's gone because she's yelling, Dorothy, Dorothy, there's a tornado. You need to come back home.
Well,
and
she was going, yeah, Dorothy,
she was
Dorothy,
with
where
the
are you?
wizard. She was with the psychic in his trailer.
That's true. Oh, that's so scary.
I know.
Hey, maybe I wasn't as obsessed as I thought I was. I'm fully going, Miss Batliner, you lunatic. You just made something up.
If I could turn, me as Auntie M.
Yeah.
If I could turn back time.
That you would have been so good. I bet third grade you would have bodied that. They drew freckles on me, by the way.
Fabletics. That's
Victor is up there
verse.
as Auntie M. He is absolutely Fabletics, the parents would say.
The school newspaper would print it. Fabletics! Exclamation mark.
Batman's Wizard of Oz production is Fabletics. Auntie M steals the show.
Male Auntie M.
First male Auntie M. But do you want to know the role that my third grade friend who I saw at my show, the role he played was? Because he goes, I was like, what role were you again?
Was he a flying monkey?
He was brother of Dorothy. Made up role. They couldn't get all the kids into the
Brother
cast.
of Dorothy.
They had to make up brother of Dorothy.
That's really
dying.
sweet.
It's
Brother
so
of
cute. Can you
Dorothy.
imagine you're in charge of casting this show and you're like, fuck, we have nowhere to put him.
You're like, I have 45
Brother
evil
of Dorothy.
trees. I don't know what else.
No.
Like,
My friend Natalie was a tree. Guess what song they got to do?
what?
The trees had a song, by the way. Let's Get It Started, Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, I bet everyone was so jealous.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome. I remember the crowd kind of going crazy. I wish I could go back.
I wish I could turn back time.
If only I could find a way. I have pictures of me during this, and I have truly welts of they drew these big freckles on my face. Like, I had freckles, but they said for the stage lighting, we got to give you big freckles. So I have these big circles. I'll send you a picture. Maybe we'll post on the gram.
It's really, well, we should post, because I was, of course, in musicals, but in high school.
We should, me too. Okay. We should do a
There are
montage of this.
There's like some demonic stuff that they made me
Favorite
do.
role?
Well, here's the thing. I was only truly ever one role. I was Harry the Horse in Guys and Dolls, which is getting a remake.
Whoa.
with
Like getting a remake at
allegedly-
your high school?
No, in the world, as a
Guys
movie.
and Dolls. Wait, who's in it? You were saying?
Lady Gaga and Zendaya.
No. I just got the chills. Can
And
we
they're going to have me as
audition?
Harry the Horse.
Oh, shit. Who is Harry the Horse? I'm forgetting.
He's one of like the gangsters. He's like totally not like a main character, but he's like, he kind of like a fuckhead and he like laughs
Yeah.
like a horse.
Do you
And I
play a
was like,
fuckhead a lot, you think?
I think so. I think I play a good
Yeah.
one. I play very convincing. Like whenever you call me Hey Nose, that is like an example of like how
I regret
people,
that. I regret it, by the way.
No, come on.
And everyone's against me now.
I just think it's funny that like
No one's giving me a hug before school.
no one gets the like backstory of you calling me nose. They just think
We opened the episode on you going, "Hey, Salmon," and me saying, "What's up, nose?" Come on. That's not fair. You
Hey,
kind
piece
of
of
set me
salmon.
up.
But anyway, yeah,
Not
Harry
calling
the
you
horse.
nose
And I was
again.
wearing a fedora and I looked as if I was a 75-year-old woman and a 15-year-old young chubby boy.
I just think this is kind of one of the big reasons to have kids.
Totally.
Is you get to go. My
You get to
family
put
was like,
old age makeup on them.
"Oh my God." No, my family would be like, "Oh boy." They were really supportive, but like, I guess more my siblings were like, "Oh God, we gotta go see Carly's serious play in high school." And I'm like thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, they could complain, but I hope my parents were laughing their asses off to themselves
I know.
and privately behind closed doors.
When does that like hit for people on average? Like the fact that like your high school's musical wasn't actually Broadway quality. Like when does that
people never.
actually get to sink in for people?
Some people never. I do think there are some people who are leads that, and all the power to them, they have the right to hold on to that.
They need that.
They need it. Because if I played, let's say my high school did Legally Blonde, and the woman that played Elle Woods, she's on to great things. So I don't think that this would be her. Of course, shout out to her. She's awesome. But
Hey.
if I was Elle Woods,
She wasn't as awesome as she thought. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I
It was
only
a high
remember
school
her.
production of it.
I remember her as so awesome. She hit notes I could never dream. Do you want to know? I was practicing for my Paulette audition. It's so she was Fabletics as fuck. Legally Blonde the musical is Fabletics, and
It's part
What
of
I'll
our
say-
origin story.
it's a part of our orange story. Exactly.
It's part of our orange theory. It's Fabletics.
It's Fabletics is a part of our orange theory. And because Victor and I, when we became friends, we really became friends. Well, first I came up to him and I said, "I like your videos."
And I said, "Oh my God, thank you so much."
Exactly. And it was a compliment I'm so glad I gave, because of course you have this inner dialogue in your head. You go, "I'm not going to go tell this guy I like his videos. I'm not going to say I'm a stalker," because I wasn't, just admirer. And
Just
then
admire.
we discovered that we were both laughing our asses off to the famous online clip, Legally Blonde, the musical. Oh my God. What was
It's
it
a
titled on
specific
YouTube?
school name. I forget, but it's like
It's the girl who's saying,
Courtney.
"Courtney, take your break."
It's
He's like, "No, Hershey hasn't been well."
Try
That line.
this, ladies from Milan. Go on, try
on,
it on.
try it
I
on.
took care of my best girl.
Adele.
It's a gift from me to
Elle. She hits the note great, aka bad. And it's a really funny clip on YouTube of this high school production. Not any of our high school productions, because ours were actually great.
Ours were
this
actually
one,
good.
there was a flop. But Victor and I made a whole variety show, comedy show around it that we put up at IO Theater in Chicago, where we had comedians come and audition to take that girl's place because she got picked up for Broadway and we were missing our star. So we needed to have people come and audition, and we made them sing that song.
Yeah,
as
we
long
made them
as
audition with that song.
yeah, they did a personal piece, which was stand up, improv, whatever. I believe we had poetry. Someone did poetry, and then
We did. Jacob
and that was
Stephen.
awesome. That's right, that was awesome. And then they sang a little bit of the tune, and then in the end, every time we cast ourselves. So
And it was very hilarious.
it was an
and
awesome show.
And I was
loved
the
that.
gay choreographer that was actually straight.
We were in
and
character,
had a
yeah.
wife. And then Carly was the theater director.
I was the director.
Yeah.
And
it was
yeah.
really good.
But we digress. I do think this is the power of finding your thing with saying what you're obsessed with out loud, because we were in a green room at IO when we both learned that we thought that video rocked, which isn't anything special. I think if a lot of people have seen that video, they think it rocks. But I remember people kind of being like, okay, can we talk about like the set we're going to do? Like, can you stop talking probably to him? Because we were really cackling about how much we loved it. We loved that video. And then we made a show about it, and we're still friends. And it really solidified the friendship, I gotta say.
Your thing can introduce you to a wide range of people, and it can introduce you to lifelong friends. And I think like that is the goal here, is to like let you know that like that little thing, you're not alone. Like there are
if you're
many
laughing
other
your
people.
ass off to yourself about something, or you're thinking a lot about something, bring it up at the party, see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring it up before a show starts, see what happens. I mean, we took it all the way to try to start a podcast together. And after basically a year of technical difficulties, we have pressed record.
Technical difficulties and sort of like me being able. Well, we've just had a lot of.
We had a lot of stuff. And what were you even going to say about yourself? Because we've been kind of.
I was going to try and take the blame, which is crazy.
No, we both had to buy new laptops.
Yeah, literally.
We both did.
I was brutally.
We broke down.
This laptop was
times.
brutally bought by me in a brutal display of capitalism. I don't even want to talk about it because her name is Chloe, by the way. And
the Apple Store genius.
I walk in sight unseen. I ask her, I want to know what kind of computer I need. And it's actually crazy. I was like, so I'm going to be podcasting using this computer, and I'm going to be doing some light, like executive assistant work, emailing. And she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, she was like, do you know what app you're using for your podcast? And I was like, it's called Riverside. I was like, I know what it's called. And so she types in to Google, how much RAM does Riverside need to work?
Oh, no.
And I was like, why are you doing this in front of me? Like, you're the genius here.
Oh, you think she should know that just off the top of her head?
She should do that to the side. She should pretend that she's coughing, and then
she has to show you that she knows how to type.
To her iPhone. Well, she was typing it wrong too, and I was like, come on. And then
the geniuses are just like us.
And then I asked her, like, and by the way, she's really nice.
I'm sure.
But
they are just like us.
She didn't listen to the stuff that I said, but I was like, I want to do the financing like through like an Apple credit card. And then she's like, oh, okay, cool. And then why at the end of our discussion did she just pull up the dang thing? And then I touched my phone to it, and it sort of took $1,000 out of my money.
My God.
I'm going, I don't think that's how this is supposed to work. But and by the way, can cut all that. We can cut all that out.
Only if you want to, but I think it is important to spread the word of making big purchases, because I have an Apple Store experience that I think people need to know about as well. Mine
and she didn't give me a bag. And she didn't give me a bag.
You know what's crazy is that you wanted a bag, but you didn't get one. And my guy was literally trying to give me a bag, and I kept saying, no, I don't want it. I don't need it. And he was like, are you sure? And I didn't realize he thought it was smart to give me a bag because he didn't want my laptop to get stolen on my way out of the mall. And I was like, no, I don't take back. Like, I'm fine carrying it. It's in a box. And then like we left, and Stuart's like, I'm shocked you didn't get a bag. Like, you should probably like tuck that under your arm. And I was like, oh.
It's just so much easier to take when it's not in a bag.
But this is my big hack about the Apple Store when I went. And I'm curious if you tried it. Because when I was asked, I should say, are you a student, for discount purposes? And I'm not a student. So I said, oh, no, just a student of life. And the guy laughed. He laughed. He's laughing. And he goes, oh, that we are, aren't we all? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I thought I'd give it a shot. And then 5 minutes pass, we're wrapping up the purchase. He goes, I gave you the 10%, by the way. I gave you the student discount.
That's a lot.
I know. I was like, I literally go, like, I was like, bless you. Thank you.
You know what? I'm going to use this computer for podcasting.
Oh, he knew that. I spilled my soul. Bless you. I gotta go. We have to start recording. We've been trying to plan this for like A year. Wait, I just saw Connor said in the chat, LOL, shut up. But that was a while
that was
ago.
a while ago. Yeah.
I'm forgetting
it was because
why
we
said
were
that.
complimenting him.
Oh, that's nice. But yeah, I
and
said
we were
bless
sort of,
you.
It was sort of ragging on him, of course. But
That's kind of the dynamic at Zootel headquarters.
I wanted to get into your thing.
43 minutes into the record.
Yeah,
Let's go.
because I want to just
yeah.
let's see.
Let's do it because I'm ready for you. My thing this past week has been the cake I made for Stuart's birthday.
What kind of cake?
But if you make a cake, this is going to be a thing. Like you are going to not be able to shut up about it. It's actually, it turns into not about the person you made it for. It turns into Carly made a cake. Carly did it.
And where did she get the recipe? And did she like the recipe? And does the internet like the recipe?
Yeah, I'm about to. Well, I want to know, have you had a thing this week before we get really into it?
Well, yes, of course. I'm actually just going to piggyback off of yours. I made a carrot cake for Easter.
We both made cakes?
We both made carrot cake.
Students
for
of the
Easter.
podcast, we didn't know that we both made cakes. I think only
but you
Victor knew
didn't
I
make
made a
carrot
cake.
You made something.
I didn't make a carrot cake.
You
no.
made something very good and interesting.
I went online and I found a recipe that I thought really was Stuart's jam because he's not a traditional chocolate guy. Okay, so this is hard. He likes vanilla a lot, but I was trying to make it spicy, make it interesting. He loves Biscoff cookies that you famously get on American Airlines. You can also get them at the grocery store, but they're really special in the air. And so I'm just trying to be special for my special guy, and I found a recipe on, we're not sponsored by her, Cakes by Courtney. Have you ever heard of her?
I actually haven't.
My friend goes, is this Cakes by Courtney? What the hell? I go, yeah, what? She's like, I've been following her for years. She's like a Mormon woman in Utah.
Cakes by Courtney.
And she has, she makes exquisite treats.
Does she sell her cakes out
No
of
idea.
a shed in the back of her?
No idea, because here's the thing. I don't follow her on Instagram. I thought this was a random blog. And the site kept crashing on me every few minutes because there were so many ads on the blog post. So it was actually kind of frustrating.
There are so many essays in the recipe.
I had to keep scrolling through the essay past all the ads, and then the ads would short circuit and so on my iPad, it kept quitting. I had to go to the laptop. I had to bring the laptop into the kitchen. It's a new laptop. I didn't want to do that, but I did it for my love's cake. The cake recipe that I found, I had to go with this specific recipe. It was a Biscoff cookie cake. It was a spongy, nice cake. It was infused with Biscoff cookies. I ground up about 18 Biscoff cookies, and I put them in the flour.
Okay, I was actually going to ask how that was done. Okay.
And then there was a Biscoff cookie. It was layers. There were 3 layers, and in between the layers was a Biscoff cookie filling. Butter filling, some would say. But I whipped it with a bunch of sugar.
So it was cookie butter.
Yeah.
In the filling. But what did you mix? So you mixed it with butter?
I'm feeling a lot of pride talking to you about this because you are a professional baker. And you've been on Halloween Cookie Challenge. So shit. I'm joining the ranks. Okay. So I did. Yeah. I believe it was I got the cookie butter for the filling. And then I put in about, I don't even know how many cups of powdered sugar and
a lot.
Some cream, I think it was buttermilk went in there at some point. That's all I'm telling you.
Buttermilk went into the filling?
I'm actually not sure.
Probably went into the cake.
It definitely went into the cake. I'm getting kind of confused now because it was like a 3-day process. So I'm forgetting exact steps, but I know it was basically, so it was 18
You're breathing
Biscoff.
heavily. You're
Wait, can you tell I'm going back there? I'm going back into the kitchen zone. It was because it took 3 days. The first day I made the layers with the Biscoff cookie infused flour. And then I froze those. So I had them in advance because I'm doing this all between working. And then next day I make the nut butter filling, save that. And then the day after that was his birthday. So I made the white chocolate buttercream frosting with a white chocolate drizzle. And I put it all together and I decorated it. And the white chocolate drizzle, I was nervous that it was going to look like cum. but it didn't look like cum. It looked just looked like a white chocolate drip.
It looked like a white chocolate drip. That's the name of my album. White chocolate drip.
White chocolate drip from my man. And I'm going to give you a white chocolate drip for your birthday.
Was it really tasty?
Oh my God. We have a couple pieces frozen in the fridge or the freezer. And we both had a slice yesterday. Thaws amazing. Takes an hour, put it on the counter. And I made homemade ice cream with it. So let me just, students of the podcast. You
made ice cream?
I think I'm low-key a baker / a chef.
You are a pastry
and
chef.
I need to start embracing the side of myself because I did a good job. I had to borrow about $1,000 worth of equipment from people in my life, though. I respect the hell out of you, Victor. How much money have you put down to bake?
It's so much money.
It's so crazy because first of all, I didn't have the sugars. I didn't have about 10 sticks of unsalted butter I needed. Whoa. We've got high grocery prices right now, folks. So I had to kind of stock up on all the flours and everything. That was already whatever. This is going to be a gourmet cake vibe. I understand why people charge $200 for a cake. But I wish they didn't.
I wish it was
I wish
free.
they didn't have to. Then I needed to borrow a KitchenAid mixer. I didn't have one. This amazing woman that I nanny for, she lent me her pans. She lent me her frosting scraper tool so I could make it absolutely smooth and amazing. She lent me the frosting rotating thing because she's a great baker. She makes everybody's baby shower, birthday cakes, whatever they need. That's like her thing in the friend group. And she was going, watch out. This could happen to you. Once you make your first good cake, everyone's going to think that you are the cake girl. And I told her, I said, I get it. I get it.
You kind of are the cake girl because you were doing those the cakes that have like a center and like the hollowed out cupcake cakes.
Thank you for bringing this up. Yeah. Well,
As a child,
I'm going back to my
business.
origins. Yeah, I'm going back to my origins with this. I'm going, why am I discrediting myself? Why am I going, I'm not a baker, but I'm going to try to make a cake. Guys. And then I'm going to shut up because I've been talking a lot. I don't know. It's just a podcast.
I go, well, you're supposed to, honey.
Sheds. That's crazy. So basically, as a kid, I was obsessed with Betty Crocker Bacon Fill. This was an infomercial cake baking pan. I was obsessed with it. I saw the infomercial, I remember, in a couple different states because at one point I saw it at my grandparents' house in Missouri when they lived there. And I was like, I've watched this infomercial at home. I've watched it in Missouri when I'm visiting my grandparents.
That's
it. I need it. And I was begging. And I finally got it for some occasion. I was so thrilled that I started my own cake baking business called Carly's Cake Baking Service. I think it was Carly's Cake Baking Business, and that's an important specification.
Well, business has to be in the business name for people to realize that it's business.
Yeah, especially when you're 8.
Carly's Cake Baking Business.
Carly's Cake Baking Business. And it was centered around the Betty Crocker Bacon Fill recipes. So the cake, the pan itself is a half circle because you have to have the base level of cake and then you make a dome. Okay? And then you fill the hollowed out dome with whatever you want this bacon filled cake to be filled with. So naturally you're thinking a shit ton of icing. Naturally you're thinking, of course, this is perfect for ice cream cake.
It is perfect for ice cream cake. Just saying.
It's great. We all should probably be having these still. I don't know how it didn't become a staple.
I know.
I really would like one again. If Betty Crocker could probably reach out to us, that would be
It looks like a giant cupcake.
It does. Well, for my friends, I made 3 cakes for my business. So I had 3 customers. Mm-hmm. And then ultimately, I think my mom shut me down because she was doing all the work. And that was not conducive to her work schedule. We were kind of bottoming out. Yeah. So my friend Kirsten commissioned / hired me to do a basketball cake for her basketball party because she played basketball. And Betty Crocker Bacon Fill's half circle, so it was perfect for a cake that looked like a basketball.
Yeah, that is literally perfect.
It's great. She loved it. She still brings it up. I'm going to be her maid of honor.
Oh, this is huge.
This summer. Yeah.
I mean, this is like the root, like this is the core of like your thing, like solidifies relationships, period.
Literally, Victor. our thing, Legally Blonde the musical, Legally Blonde the musical.
Like we'll always have that, no matter what.
Always, and it's important if you have a thing that's powerful enough to try to start a business, because that's what I've done
and
on
like
multiple occasions.
When the IRS comes for us in this podcast and shuts it down, it's like
I'm writing off the laptop, by the way.
Legally Blonde. Oh, I'm writing off my haircut today.
Okay? Yes, I thought your hair looks amazing.
Thank you.
You get it done?
I got like a new sort of vibe.
Ooh, it fades nicely into your beard. Love.
Vanish into you. New Lady Gaga song. Yeah,
well,
mean, so I made a cake on Easter. It was a carrot cake. It was the New York Times best. It was like your new favorite carrot cake, or like the best carrot cake ever.
What do you think when people say they don't like carrot cake? Really quick.
It scares me. It scares the shit out of me.
I don't think they're being honest.
What's not to like? Truly.
Yeah, be an adult.
A carrot cake is an adult cake.
Yeah,
it is.
It is.
And so the cake was like actually quite simple. Like it almost had like no spices in it. Like it was like just like a little bit of cinnamon. And I was like, okay, this is going to be like bad. Like it needs like more, but it was amazing. Like it was like the perfect amount.
What were the compliments like that people gave you?
I mean, Paul is obsessed with the cake. He's loving it.
Was it just for you two?
No, it was actually me and our friend Lucy. We made this cake.
Cute.
And Paul was like in Denver. And so we were kind of just like hanging out. We watched the movie Death Becomes Her, which is an amazing film.
Oh.
And then
this is
made,
so cute.
I know. It was like such a cute night. And then we made this cake and it was like perfect. And carrot cake is another one that's really good, like the day after.
Mm-hmm. I believe it. I mean, I honestly think a lot of cake freezes well and people don't know that.
And that's something that we're going to be talking about a lot on this podcast.
Can I admit that when I was like really little, I told my mom it was my doll's birthday because I wanted carrot cake. Wait. I said, I remember saying, because you know when you remember like your parent kind of going, like kind of laughing at you? Yeah. Do you have those memories?
Oh, absolutely.
I remember going, I'm going to go tell my mom this. And then her going, oh, really? Because I said, my doll's name was Nella because her head smelled like vanilla. Oh. And I said, I just realized it's Nella's first birthday. We need to have a party. we probably need to get carrot cake.
And you probably
there's a picture.
You probably were earnestly like, this is a genius plan. Like she'll like buy into this.
Well, my mom laughed because I do know that I said I gave birth to her a year ago.
Oh my God, I just realized it's her first birthday.
God.
We need to get her carrot cake.
It's like so funny that is carrot cake specific because it does that kind of sound like, I'm like, oh my gosh, you made a carrot cake? I just remembered it was Nella's first birthday. And you made carrot cake.
Nella. I love that as a name.
Nella is my doll because her head smells like vanilla.
Because her head smells like vanilla, and her favorite birthday cake is carrot flavor.
That's so crazy that you made carrot cake because that's my doll Nella's. It's her birthday, and that's my favorite flavor of cake. So we should probably celebrate.
I gave birth to her a year ago. One time I was like being very like manic pixie dream girl, and my mom was like, well, what kind of like cake would you like for your birthday? And I was like, strawberry pie.
Wait, you opted for pie?
I said I'll take strawberry pie.
Victor, I think we were the same person. I'm not kidding.
It was for my like 12th birthday or some random shit.
You were
what
being
was
different.
The deal with that? Yeah, I was like,
no,
fuck
you
it.
were like, let me turn this on its head. I did that with, wait for it, pumpkin pie.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Your birthday's in the spring.
It's in May. It's coming up. when this is released, it'll be long past. Yeah.
Well, this is released. It might be time for my next birthday. It might be time for Nilla's 45th birthday.
Nilla is for real turning 45 wherever she is. Where are you, girl? No, yeah.
Noah,
I was like, you know what? I think I'm more of a pumpkin pie for my birthday, girl.
Were your friends like...
Everyone's out here pretending like all the things I like are gross. Carrot cake, everyone gross. Pumpkin pie, ew. Guys, grow up.
Well, I guess the theme with that is sort of like you're turning vegetables into like confection.
And I have to respect people. I mean, you don't like it, but it's like grow up. Sounds like grow up.
It's like eat a vegetable. Like no offense.
Carrot cake and pumpkin pie are Fabletics. I just really forced that. Oh, God, I forced that one in there.
No, but I'm like, you did. No, just kidding. But you know what I was thinking about? Like, there's those like weird like manosphere podcasters. Like, do you know who I'm talking about?
No,
like it's like
but
people that are like men's rights.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
my dad's almost fallen for a few of those. I had to yank them out.
Mm-hmm. No, that's like the cross that people our age have to bear. But I was watching one of them and like he was like, the one was talking to the other one about like.
The one was talking to the other one. The men's right activist was talking to the other men's rights activist.
And they were like talking about like how they like only eat meat, like only meat, like only steak.
Only eat meat.
And I was like, you are so immature.
That's
like,
disgusting.
Just eat a vegetable. Like you don't have to like create this like whole personality and like this whole like theology surrounding like how men should just like only eat meat. It's like you can just like eat a vegetable. Like I promise.
That's their thing though.
You don't have to
Can you
make
imagine
something
they decided that's their thing?
That is their thing. And we need to get one of them on to actually learn about it.
Actually, that'd be interesting. This is a podcast where we have hard conversations with really, really people we do not align with. That is something that we probably should be doing more of.
Our next guest tomorrow is someone that I don't agree with about anything that she...
His name rhymes with Schmo Gogan. Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan is... he's an uncle of mine in a past life. We have the same... Did you know? Me and Joe Rogan share a birthday.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I bet he doesn't like carrot cake.
He probably loves it. I probably have a lot more in common than I realize.
Don't say that.
No, there's too many similarities. I have the same birthday as him. He's Italian American. Oh. Which is like it's a brain disease.
He was also a comedian. Oh, shit.
I know. And guess what? He has a podcast.
Oh.
Like, you do. Like, I
have a headache.
him.
I gotta go.
And guess what? He hosted Fear Factor. And guess who had a Fear Factor birthday party when he was 10?
No way. That's so sick.
I know.
What were the activities?
My mom made a bunch of like stuff where we would have to stick our hands like blindly into something and like feel around.
Cool, Mom.
She was like, so there's eyeballs and intestines in this bag. And you'd be like, oh my God. And it was like spaghetti and grapes. But you're feeling it and she's describing it and you're like, and then what else
did we have? That's so epic.
And then there was one that was like supposed to be like snakes or something, and it was like toy snakes. But I get so in my head that I like thought it was real.
Yeah, you're like, I'm taking this really seriously, so much so that this is an issue. I'm not having fun.
I like pull her aside. I'm like, the challenge is
isn't it?
The challenge is.
Can you tell everybody to go home? I'm really not having a good time.
I'm about. I just shit myself, Mom. I just shit myself at my birthday.
Oh, I was watching that movie, Sinners.
I want to see that.
They had a really good joke about someone shitting themselves. That's all I'll say. It's a vampire movie, and they had a really good joke. I'll just say, someone says, "Do you smell that?" And then no one does. He goes, "Good." No, I wish she did though. She says other things that are pretty fun.
Do you think we should have her on the pod?
Oh my God, Haley, if you're listening, come on the podcast. I have
Come
a
on.
crazy, like, growing up in San Diego, some people knew famous people. And I remember somebody, I don't know who, bragging that they knew her. And I was going, wait, she was nominated for an Oscar when she was really young. She's our age. And we're all in high school. She was already nominated.
That is crazy to be nominated before graduating high school.
Yeah. And so I respect her a lot. She was really, people were going, no way, like someone knows her. That's what I was thinking about watching Sinners. I was like, somebody knows her.
That girl up there, somebody knows her.
Somebody knows her. Hope everyone is well.
I love Haley Steinfeld. I actually am a stan of hers.
Totally.
Like she has really good music. Like can you imagine like you randomly have like, so you're nominated for an Oscar at the age of 8 and then
Whatever.
or however old.
That'd be crazy.
And then you make amazing music also just like as like an LOL. Like she doesn't even like perform it. She just is like,
Is she really not?
She's like, I'm kind of a pop star. Like who cares? I literally don't care about it.
Oh my God. We need to be talking about her more. But I guess
know.
she's like, don't.
She's like, I'd rather not. I'd
all
rather
good.
be known as an actress who sometimes sings.
Whoa. Kind of like
by the
Selena
way-
Gomez. Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of.
You know, the thing with Selena is I haven't seen her in like anything in modern day besides We're Going to Monte Carlo. Do you remember that?
We're going to Monte Carlo. Let's take a trip.
And then it's just the plot of the Lizzie McGuire movie
Yeah,
that happened
that was
in Italy, which is a stone's throw away.
Wait, yeah, what the hell? It's really similar. Yeah, that was a tough call from the network. We're going to have to move away from that type of movie for a little while. Shake people off of our trail. But she did do Only Murders in the Building, which I'm a fan of.
I've never watched it. I should
It
start.
kind of hooks you in.
I should start.
You should start. I feel like some people are divided on it, but I liked it, and it employed some really great comedians. And what else? I mean, God, we have Molly Shannon in the latest season, and she has a scene where she's using a blender, and I was
now
laughing my
that's
ass
gonna
off.
be good.
Yeah,
Oh,
if Molly
there's-
Shannon's going to be using a blender, she's going to be using the blender in every part of the scene. Molly Shannon's great.
There is a
Look up to her.
No, she's amazing. I mean, I think we all do. My like
Yeah.
introduction to her was like her on SNL, like doing the radio.
Mary Catherine Gallagher.
host.
Oh, NPR, Sweaty Balls.
Sweaty Balls, and then it was Mary Catherine Gallagher, and then the most impactful thing she's ever done was she was the Santa Claus like super fan who goes on a date with Santa, and she wears that Santa Claus shirt, and she's like, I'm actually a songwriter. And then he's like, oh, really? Okay. Like what kind of stuff? And she gets up and sings, I feel like some Christmas. Oh, wow.
She does slutty really well.
It is so funny. And she gets up, dances in front of the restaurant, and then she sits back down and she goes, what? You hated it? And then he's like, well, no, I just wasn't expecting that. She goes, if you're not the kind of man that can support a woman's ambitions, then I really don't think that there's a reason for us to be continuing this date. She's like, you know what? That took a lot of work, and it like took a lot of guts to do that, to get up there and sing. And if you're the kind of man that can't support a woman's ambitions, I don't think we should continue this date. Gets up, leaves. I was like, that is the performance of a lifetime.
Can you imagine that was you doing that performance? I would probably be on vacation the rest of my life. Oh, I feel so good about myself. And then she goes on, she's doing the White Lotus. She's just kind of doing it, everything. She seems just to be having a darling time. She's friends with everybody, I think.
Totally. Like you always hear people like talk, like other comedians, like just say amazing things about her. And
Wonderful.
her personality is just like so like unique and like she's an eccentric.
She leaves me speechless. She should come on the podcast. I bet she has some things that she could talk about.
She has a lot to talk about.
If we've learned anything from this episode today is that without even prompting, you could kind of pop off about 10 to 25 things.
Yeah, it's actually
and
really
go
scary.
on a tangent.
And I think that's what we need people to gain from this is
Victor and I are breaking free from what technology has done to us because we both have new laptops and we are so students of the podcast. We are so excited to be coming to you live from new podcasting setups. Oh my God.
the way
I'm like
out,
sweating.
The way out is through capitalism and buying. Just always remember that.
It's been going to the Apple store and trying your best.
And getting someone totally ripping $1,000 right out of your hands
Right out of
by
your
accident.
That's fucked up.
And she goes, here you go. I'm like,
Oh,
do you not remember when I told you I wanted to do the financing? Like,
no, and that leaves you in a moment of stress where you go, I guess I'm not standing up for myself, but how could I? This is crazy. And I feel weird. So I'm just going to have to think about this.
I'm wearing the craziest outfit. I had like a hoodie on and then like slides without socks. So you could see my toes.
And my question is, why did you do
out.
that?
In context of this whole thing, toes are out.
What's the temperature today or when you did that?
Well,
what's the temperature?
Well, it was, I guess it was yesterday. I go, well, but it was like 60. So it was like fine. But all that to say is like,
yeah,
let me just say this. When you are dressed in a crazy outfit that looks disgusting and you buy a laptop, you need to just put it on a card right there so that people think you're an eccentric rich person and not a totally at your wit's end poor person who's wearing crazy clothes because those are the only clothes you have.
Yeah, okay. Did you write that down? I hope you wrote that down. There's a period between
every word.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that's
what being a podcaster is kind of like. I mean, guys,
dead air for 10 minutes.
There's more where this is coming from.
If you just
Victor and I are going to keep baking. We're going to keep trying our best. And in some other episodes, we will be having guests, by the way.
Yeah, and it's okay.
When we probably already have.
And it's okay when we don't have
track.
Guests.
What?
And it's okay when we don't have guests. That's the last thing I'll say. And it's okay.
It's okay. Because we actually we have a lot of things that we like to do and we like to talk about.
Totally.
If you see us at a party, talk to us.
Say something.
Yeah, if you see us, say something.
If you see us, say something and say less.
But also, by that, we mean say more.
Say more.
Okay? Don't be confused by the saying say less. I just have to really make sure everybody knows that. It means say more.
It means say more.
Don't be confused.
I just want to say huge shout out to Connor. Huge shout out to my boyfriend for letting me record in his space.
Yeah.
In front of his Peloton, by the way.
Oh, that is so impressive. So it's your boyfriend's Peloton, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huge shout out to my boyfriend as well. We're kind of a podcast that famously has boyfriends who are super nice to us.
Kind.
Stuart making sure the lighting in here look good, assuring me I don't look like a salmon, though I did come on and immediately tell Victor I look like a salmon. But he keeps me so real. I gotta be honest. Like, keeps the tech flowing in our house. So shout out to our it girl, Stu.
Yeah, shout out to Stu and
shout out to Connor. Shout out to
this. I think we're reaching our end of our pod.
Yeah, we gotta go.
I just want to say I've been Nose, and it's been a amazing day with my friend Peace.
Peace
of salmon.
Oh boy, you're crazy to me. Hey Nose, I had a good time today. Can I call you that?
Yeah. Can I call you that?
Okay, Nose. Bye, Nose.
You cannot call me Nose.
Shit. I really thought I was back in good graces.
Should we say like a sign off? Do we have a sign off?
The one we officially wrote down. Do you want me to read it out loud?
Yeah, give it a read.
So the one that Victor and I have officially written down to say to you guys at the end of a podcast is, okay, bye students, don't be bastards, fuckheads. Shall we say that?
Yeah.
So that's basically the vibe. Victor and I were prepping for the podcast. We go, let's say that. That would be good for the vibe of the podcast.
Okay, bye students.
Bye students.
Don't be bastards, fuckheads.
Fuckheads.
Bastards, fuckheads.
Bastards, fuckheads. Did we get it?
I think that was amazing, and I think you did an amazing job, Peace.
Right back at you. I'm not going to say no's. Bye! Do Tell is produced and edited by Connor Hickox of Mixed Metaphor, with artwork by Gabrielle Tenorello and Andrew Lawler, IT support by Stuart Hykar, and theme music by Blake Sokoloff and Ari Levin.
Do Tell.
The podcast.
The podcast.
Oh, Do Tell.
Do Tell.